Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you, I don't know what to call this. It is the weekly video on the DIA, QQQ, and IWM. This is probably the third week or fourth, perhaps, that I've done this, and it'll be a continued series. And just want to let you know, I mentioned this in the Daily SPY report video analysis, that come the first week of December, I think that at least one, maybe two of these, I'm thinking two of these three can become daily videos. If you have a preference, let me know. You can reply in the YouTube area or shoot me an email, whatever the case might be, and let me know which two you think are best. I don't have enough time and energy right now to do all four, the SPY, DIA, QQQ, and IWM. But of these three, which two would you prefer? And please give me your preference. Please click like, too, if you like the video. Liking it. Subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. Will provide you notifications immediately once these letters have been uploaded for your viewing. This particular video series is generally uploaded midday Sunday for the entire week ahead. Let's talk about the Dow. First of all, the DIA. We did settle above that horizontal channel structure last week, as did the IWM, a very similar structure. The Dow did not close beyond the 1% mark, was very close. The IWM did comfortably close above its 1% mark. So I'm putting both of these in the bullish continuation column, longer term. Longer term for me is the next 2 to 3, 3 to 5 months out. This is true for the DIA, above 359.64. I do think that over the next it could be as little as 2 to 3 months. We could reach that 391.54 rising channel top, where we can top out on a quarterly basis. And that is the target now over the next 2 to 3 months, I think, is realistic. On the way up, over the next possibly 3 to 5 weeks, by the end of the year, at the latest, I would say that 381.55 full channel extension would be expected. That is a sort of a redoubling or a doubling upside of the former channel structure that we were in for so long from last spring. And these targets, actually, these full channel extensions, full range extensions, they work pretty good as targeting mechanisms. I don't like to go short in that area, but in terms of reaching an objective, potentially liquidating some long positions at 381.55, certainly. But overall, just know that over the next 2 to 3 months, could take a little longer, could be a 3 to 5 monther, 391.55 is the target where we can top out on a quarterly basis. Now, if we close back below the 359.64 formation at the end of this week, that, if you listen to the Daily SPY report, would be consistent with what the SPY is showing us. The SPY is showing long-term resistance that is yet to be violated for the SPY, as is the QQQ. I'll get to that in a moment. And so closing back below 359.64, while I don't expect it, it wouldn't be a significant surprise. And I think the Dow should then, the DIA, ease back over the next 3 to 5 weeks to that 345.45 longer-term channel bottom, where we could bottom out through Q1. And in fact, above the 345.45, I've mentioned this in previous videos, there is a case to be made that the 391.54 channel top is a realistic target over the months ahead. And that was essentially confirmed last week following the settlement above the 359.64 channel top. If we were to close below 345.45 over the next few weeks, then 314.38 becomes a realistic 1 to 2 month target where we could bottom out in the DIA through 2022. That is a long-term support area. Let's move on to the IWM, the Russell 2000. It did elicit a nice buy signal last week by closing above this very well-defined congestive framework, the top of which was the channel, for my opinion, at 237.82 this week. We did clear it by 1% last week, so we have ourselves a valid longer-term buy signal for the IWM. I think by the end of the year, we could reach that 65.12 full channel extension. And over the next 3 to 5 months, perhaps, the 289.22 longer-term channel top. That could take a little longer, depending. If we get up and over 365.12 by the end of the year, then yeah, that's more like 2 to 3 months, 3 to 5 months. But we'll just see how this plays out. Inversely, if we close below support, not only below the 237.82 formation, but there's another former channel top nearer term at 236.92, almost a full point wide there. That is your base of support, by the way, through the rest of the year. Good bottom picking territory if given the opportunity this week. But if we close Friday the week itself below 236.92, failed long-term buy signal, I would imagine both. If this market, IWM, elicits a failed signal by closing the week back below 236.92, you'd also have the DIA closing back below 359.64. If we did close below 236.92 in the Russell 2000 at the end of this week, then the channel bottom, a new channel structure based on in part on last week's high at 213.27, becomes, I think, a realistic 1 to 2 month target. It could be much sooner. 213.27, able to absorb quarterly selling pressures if or when tested, and a meaningful downside tipping point into Q1 of next year. Finally, the triple Q. The triple Q, like the SPY, is merely approaching its meaningful resistance this week at 404.36. And this has been a 3 to 5 week objective. Also, if you've been following the triple Q, I had a 3 to 5 week buy signal about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I don't have that illustrated here. Along the way, we had a secondary buy signal a couple of weeks ago by closing above the 382.77 early September. That's actually a late August high. And so that remains in play. 404.46 remains an objective that can contain, at least weekly, quite possibly buying pressures through the rest of the year, through December. And from there, we could fall back to not only 382.77, but this channel bottom at 356.58 within several months. And if we were to close this week, FYI, below 382.77, I would anticipate seeing that 356.88 channel bottom within 3 to 5 weeks, where we could bottom out through Q1 of 2022. Upside, if we do close above 404.46 at the end of this week, and I think I need to open this chart up a little bit and show it more properly illustrated here, then we do show longer-term bullish continuation in the triple Q. I mean, the triple Q is already bullish. There's no other way to see that when you look at this formation in this chart. And if we did close above 404.46, then the 447.18 long-term channel top becomes, if it's the same volatility that we have now and the same rate of the rally, we couldn't actually reach 447.18 by the end of the year. Realistically, though, it could take the better part of 2 or 3 months. 447.18 if tested over the coming weeks, and once again, I don't have an indication that we're likely to reach it unless we close above 404.46 at the end of this week. The 447.18 formation able to contain at least quarterly buying pressures when tested, possibly well into 2022. I think that pretty much covers this week's analysis for these three. Please click like once again and subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. That's really all that needs to be said for this week's DIA, Triple Q, and IWM analysis. And I'll leave it at that. You have a great evening.